Welcome back, everyone. My name is Katrina, and this is a Better Day podcast. I am here with Leslie.
Hi, everyone.
And Anthony.
Hello, hello. How you doing?
Hi. How are you guys doing today?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Doing wonderful.
Amazing, yes.
Good.
Enjoying the new year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So far, so good?
So far, so good.
That's awesome. And your wife?
She's doing wonderful. We're expecting, and we're just enjoying that process.
Oh, wonderful. And how's your New Year's going so far, Leslie?
It's going good. Thanks God it's going good. And I really enjoy the pre-warm-up conversation we had here today.
Like an impromptu Bible study kind of.
Yeah, we did, and it was really good. I'm really happy that we connected that way. Today, we're going to talk about hobbies and how they're strongly connected to our well-being and our mental health.
Mm-hmm.
I want to definitely touch base on, what individually works for us, because everybody is a little bit different. Some of the pros and cons, maybe some of the struggles that we've had, and even getting started to, help someone who doesn't know where to start. Anthony.
Yes.
I would love if you could join this conversation this time.
Of course.
What is one of your favorite hobbies?
So I have quite a few hobbies. I haven't been doing them as much lately, but one of my hobbies is actually taking photos.
Oh, yeah?
Yes,
Yeah.
photography. For those who don't know, I'm actually a photographer and videographer, and I have my own business. But back in the day, before I got super busy, I used to actually just take my camera and go out and take photos wherever that might take me. That could be downtown, the beach, or like a really beautiful sunset. Mm-hmm. And I figured out the best time to take pictures of the sunset without a cloud in the sky is this time of year when it's really cold.
Oh, really?
It's not as much clouds in the sky, so you get the best sunsets.
Oh,
yeah,
beautiful. Mm-hmm. That's really nice. How long have you been doing that for?
Since 2014, so probably about 10 years.
It's a long time.
Yes, it's been a while.
What made you start that?
So it's funny. I was living in Orlando at the time, and I was grilling on a Saturday or a Sunday, and the smoke was coming out of the grill, and I'm going to tell you the first picture, right? And the sun was shining through the trees, which made this, and I'll show it to you guys, but it made this beautiful sparkling sun ray through the trees. And I took that. I was like, oh, I didn't take this picture. And I took the picture with my phone, posted on Instagram. And I was like, when I first started, I didn't have my first camera by then, but that's what started me taking photos.
And nowadays, our phones are just so beautiful and so high tech. We take beautiful photos.
That was Samsung Galaxy S3 days. Mm-hmm. So,
what would you say the comparison is nowadays between photos on the phone and photos with an actual camera?
So
professional camera like you have.
Like the difference?
Yeah.
So the difference is actually, that's a difficult question. It's not that much if you have, say for example, if you're outside in the bright daylight, it's not that different. Okay. The difference is in the range that you have with the professional camera, and then the, the different things like the focal length and the look varies. But the quality is almost right there.
Very similar?
Very similar.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. How do you think that affects your mental health? How does it impact that?
It actually is really, really peaceful. So for me, when I would whenever I was thinking about or stressed or whatever, I would literally just go and just take pictures. And it made me very appreciative of the beautiful things in life. You could, I'll give you a prime example, right? I went to, the last time I actually did this, I actually took a trip in, I think, 2022, right before I met my wife. And I went to Fort Myers, specifically to take photos. I took 3 days off, went there just to take photos. I went to 3 different locations. One of them was the beach. took the picture of the I think the pier in Fort Myers. I don't remember the exact names. Very beautiful pier, very beautiful sunset. And one of them was the 6 Mile Slough, which is like a nature preserve, and they have all these different animals, and it's like a it's like a swampy area.
Okay.
And then I did one other place, and I can't remember what that was. The third place I don't remember, but I think I went 3 different places, 3 different days, and it was just like the most relaxing thing ever. It just kind of gets your mind off of everything else, and then you're just like appreciative of the beauty of nature and what God has provided for us, right? So it's just really beautiful.
So definitely some stress reduction there.
Yeah, you must. I mean,
Is it almost meditative?
yes, you would have to have some really, really serious problems, like maybe people trying to harm you if you're in that setting and you're still stressed. Like maybe you might have bigger problems that you have to resolve first. But yeah, no, that's really, really, really stress relieving.
Yeah. What are some common challenges that, or do you have any, with even continuing, because you've had what, 10 years now, you say? So continuing to have that hobby.
So there's no challenges with the hobby in and of itself as a hobby.
Right.
But when you try to take it and make it like a business, which is what I did, which I love to do, by the way, then it comes with challenges, and then you come with something which I think call imposter syndrome.
What's that?
Where basically it's like when you don't feel like you're, and I'm going to read a definition because I don't like to do stuff off the top of the head, but basically when you feel like you're an imposter in what it is you're doing. Or
like you're just not meant to.
Yeah, and then you're kind of worried about being found out when it's like, you're not a real, whatever, insert.
You're not a real boy.
You don't feel
right.
like you don't feel like you're qualified to do that.
Right, because then there's the idea, like, for example, I didn't go to school for it.
Self-doubt.
So I'm self-taught, right?
Self-doubt.
So idea is like, oh, you're not this person because you don't have whatever, the qualifications. But yeah, imposter syndrome, according to Google AI, is a psychological pattern that causes people to doubt their accomplishments and fear being exposed as a fraud. People with imposter syndromes may have achieved success, but they struggle to attribute it to their own abilities. So yeah, that's just me. I don't think it's me at all. I just feel like I'm just
Wow.
yeah.
I've never heard that before. That's
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So yeah, when it comes down to doing it for a business, that's what it is. But when I'm actually just out there taking a photo and I like take the picture and I love it, I don't care about the scrutiny at that point because it's like it wasn't for you.
It wasn't for you.
But when you're taking it for a client, it's for a client.
Oh.
So you could take a picture and everybody loves it, but the client hates it, and it's like
That's a lot of pressure.
yeah. Or the client loves it, but you hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're talking about hobby, what do you find it more therapeutic? Like doing it outdoors, or it could happen anywhere?
Outdoors, in nature, preferably. You can do it indoors too, but it's not as inspirational because if you, for example, if it can be, I could say, but obviously, like if you're in your house, then you kind of know everything there is in your house.
Right.
And you're outdoors, it's just something different that you might have passed by before, but then when you're giving it proper attention, then you can be inspired more by things outside your house. So outdoors, I would say.
That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. How would you get started with something like that?
Take your phone out, take a picture.
Yeah, just
It doesn't matter what phone.
Without the expectation of approval.
okay. I was gonna say that's what I hear from you is without doubt, without judging yourself, without
That you
expectation.
So take a picture of something that you like, and not for the purpose of showing people, but for the purpose of actually enjoying and memorializing that moment. So yeah.
Well, that's a beautiful hobby.
Yeah, quite literally.
Literally, it is. Do you have any other hobbies that go along with your, mental health and kind of have cognitive benefits? And
I have other hobbies, but I don't think they're as good for our mental health as that. Maybe playing games or on Facebook, like watching documentaries.
Well, some hobbies have both positive and negative impacts.
Hmm.
Or I would say most. There has to be some type of negative impact on it.
Right. Yeah. Social media is terrible.
Right.
I don't see only benefit could be like, hey, if you're doing it for your business purposes, and yeah, it could be beneficial. But other than that,
One thing is hobby, and I think other things can be more linked to addictive
yes.
behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very good to see the difference and learn the difference.
Yeah, it's borderline that because even my wife was talking about, it, and I was explaining to her because the elections passed and we're going through with the inauguration happening today, but next week. Well, today, but Wednesday for our listeners, and I was explaining to her the difference between a 747 and a VC-25B, or the VC-25B. Essentially the same. One of them is a 747 that we can all fly on, and the other one is the presidential plane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and there's like a difference between them, even though they're based off of the same plane, and we're going through all that and stuff, and nerding out on that kind of stuff. So yeah,
Nerding out.
yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
Leslie, what is your
Well,
favorite
since we are
hobby?
2025,
Uh-huh.
I always do like a recap of how was my 2024 and the things that I can improve myself, things that are going well in my life, with my body, with my social environment, professional. So I do like an evaluation
For yourself?
for myself, and then later I try to enhance the things that are going well and improve the things that are not going that great
Mm-hmm.
and expected. So there's a few things that I'm doing. When it comes to hobbies, I love to dance, and I'm surrounded with my pets, so I dance in my kitchen. And I want to go back into working out. That is something that I neglected last year completely because I was very focused on my business. But I'm starting to dancing again and having that amazing audience that I have, my 2 cats and a dog. It just makes it fun because they look at me like whatever, but they already know I'm crazy. One thing that I would like to incorporate to my daily routine and as a hobby, and also as part of keeping my mental health in check, it's eat brain boosting foods. When it comes to eat, I think the gut and the brain connection are huge when it comes to depression, anxiety. And as we age, we need to be very mindful of what we put in our body.
Mm-hmm.
So not only as we age, we're aging every year. So no matter what age you are, I think you always need to be mindful of what you put in your body and educate yourself a little bit more about that. Mm-hmm. So in that way, I'm a little bit boring, but it's essential, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So healthy fats, eating more. I don't really like salmon.
I love salmon.
But I started to, add that to my
I have a question.
Nutrition.
Sorry to interrupt. Would it's just off the cuff popped into my head. Would avocado be considered like a healthy fat?
Yes.
Yes.
I actually
Okay, perfect.
avocados, walnuts as healthy fats.
Yeah, 'cause I feel good after that.
And also colorful veggies, which means fruits, and they're good antioxidants.
Beautiful.
Probiotics like yogurt. I love kombucha. Everybody looks at me like I'm crazy because I like the raw kombucha.
Raw.
Raw kombucha.
Ooh.
Yeah, raw. I drink them, and everybody thinks that that's disgusting. But as a matter of fact, I do enjoy it. Maybe because I don't drink alcohol at all, and I'm not. It's not something that it's just, to me, it tastes disgusting, like beer, stuff like that. I don't like it. So I just drink my kombucha.
Oh.
And then other things that can support my healthy eating. I now have a little bit of glucose intolerance, so I love rice, so I'm replacing my jasmine rice with brown rice. But I'm being very conservative when it comes to my servings with rice. Then what I'm doing is prioritizing my sleep. And what we did recently, for instance, with a nonprofit, socializing in groups that are like people like you, people that have the same interests, people that have the same passions, and that's something that I'm really, really conscious this year, because I want to stay connected, but I want to stay connected with mindful people, with loved ones, people that, are join my support groups, with the volunteers, with the nonprofits. And this social connection is one of the best mood boosters ever. I mean, Katrina, you were there at the picnic last Saturday that we did recognizing for Volunteer Appreciation Day, and it was just so much fun. And then there are little simple things that we love when it comes to simple games. And I was trying to jump on this thing and I couldn't, and I'm like, oh my God, what happened to my balance? And I was blaming that I was wearing my flip flops. I didn't have my sneakers. I will try with sneakers on next time.
Anthony, we missed you at this cookout.
Yeah.
And you missed it because she tried. She didn't try. She did accomplish it. She got a jump and a half out of it.
Okay, she committed.
She committed, and she blamed it on the flip flops.
I used to be so good on those things.
It probably was a flip flops. I got into a car accident one time because of
Let me
flip flops.
tell you, it's not flip flops. Don't make it easy. They're hard.
So we'll go with the flip flops.
Yeah, it was the
If
flip
you
flop
put the
problem.
sneakers on, we had the same issue.
Trust
then
me.
it
No,
wasn't-
I won't. I won't have the same issue on it. So, just daily mental health checklist that I have is like try to move for 20, 30 minutes, eat one colorful meal, take one moment to breathe deeply. I think this is super important because getting oxygen in your body is super. Another thing is stretching. It's stretching because when you stretch, your body releases mother cells, which are, stem cells. And then getting your 7 to 9 hours sleep will be optimal. I can assure that I get 7, but if I can get an extra 2 hours more, I just try.
I got my 7 hours on Saturday.
Oh my goodness. Let me tell you, now people, Katrina, they ask us to go to do so many events. I'm like, oh, no, thank you. Or let's go out Saturday night. I'm like, I'd rather be in my bed.
We prioritize the important things.
Yeah. So,
that social connection, we talk about that so much because it's very important. It's very important for our mental health and everything. But the social connection in the group activities and those group hobbies, do you notice a difference in your mental health and your energy within your body when we have moments where we just don't have time to connect with other people?
Yeah, and one of the things that I notice when I have this, community connection and trying to have fun, it's something that I love is gratitude. And I want to try to get a journal because I hate writing and stuff because that's the least I want to think since I'm writing a lot of things every day. But I want to create a journal because like Katrina, having the girls from Boost Recovery there and seeing them, how much they enjoy, that gives me so much satisfaction and gratitude. Gratitude to you, gratitude to them because they took the time to come and join us and they're always supporting our community events. It was just beautiful. It was just so calming. The outdoors itself, right? Like Anthony mentioned, just being outdoors in contact with the sun. It was a beautiful day. It wasn't that hot in Florida. It wasn't that humid. It was just perfect. And having the people around us made it even more beautiful than I expected. I mean, and simple things. We didn't have to have all, we didn't have to be all posh and have all this beautiful setup or dress up to have such an amazing time. It was just like so rewarding. Everybody had an amazing time.
Yeah, we had some chicken and some hot dogs and
mushrooms.
Oh my
goodness.
Those portobello mushrooms are delicious.
They were delicious, yeah.
We played Big Jenga and...
what's the name of that thing that I was trying to jump?
That's a pogo stick.
Okay.
And attempted to not bust your head on a pogo stick.
Definitely got to be careful.
Yeah.
But the beach was right there. A lot of people got to go to the beach and just, hang out, play some of the games on the beach, and
Yeah,
play
it was amazing.
swings.
Yeah, next time, Anthony. So
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think that those are things that they're simple, and then we can do them more often
Mhm.
because it creates it creates this bond, between all of us. I don't think anybody that was there didn't enjoy the moment.
Yeah, I don't think so. And those type of activities are definitely mood enhancements. Definitely stimulates, the endorphins and that.
Taking vitamin D.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I got home. So
The
we got
feel
there
good.
like at 11:30. I got there at 11:30.
11:30?
We left at 4, and I went home with such a headache.
Mm.
And it's, why? Because being outside for too long, because we're not used to.
Pros and cons.
What
Right?
next time I go, I'm gonna start, building that tolerance to the sun. But that's what we need. We need, all of us are deficient of vitamin D.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to a doctor and you get your blood work done, and they're gonna tell you, and vitamin D is a hormone
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
that regulates a lot of things on your body. So even your moods, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's super important to have our natural source of free vitamin D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Natural source of energy.
Yeah,
Mhm.
free. So I know yours was much different than Anthony's, but for eating right sometimes is very expensive. Do you have any recommendations on where can someone get started with just, I want to eat healthier, but I can't go to Whole Foods and spend all this money?
You know what though? But if you go to McDonald's, you spend $10 on a burger. And I mean, I was driving by. I haven't been in McDonald's in such a long time, and I don't get anything. Just go to the store, go to the supermarket, and buy a whole bag of salad.
Mm-hmm.
You can get some chicken tenders. That's your meal right there.
That's healthy.
Or fish, and here and there. My salad, let me tell you. So this is what I used to do. I used to like this place in Delray Beach that I used to get my favorite salads. They charge $17 for that salad.
Wow.
But even if you go to anywhere else, $10, that would be very affordable meal,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
If you go to Publix and you buy this whole salad, that would last you for at least 2 days. And you pay like $3 for that salad. And if you get some chicken tenders, then you get maybe meals for a couple of days.
Mm-hmm. That's
It's super healthy, and it's not that expensive. And also sweet potatoes. I love sweet potatoes.
Mm.
But the one thing with me, I like what a lot of people don't like. And thanks God is healthy to my body.
That's good. No, I was gonna say. So you said going to McDonald's, you spend $10, right? You can actually go to Publix. You might spend a little bit more, but you actually get, or you can get ground beef yourself and have them ground, or you can even go to the meat store, have them grind it down for you if you want to go that far.
Yeah.
But and you can arguably make more. I mean, yeah, probably be a little bit more, but you could probably make burgers for the whole family.
Exactly.
Or for the next day
And
or
then
two.
you can do your prep meals. A lot of times we don't have time to cook. So when you're cooking, think of, ahead. And most important than actually what you spend at the supermarket is that a hospital bed is a lot more expensive.
A lot more.
yeah.
And health, I mean, there's no price, So whatever you guys are doing, just be mindful of your finances and try to be, create a plan ahead of a time.
Right.
And even though the food, like, if you might go to a place, the food might not necessarily, I was thinking like Chipotle, right? The food might not necessarily be unhealthy, but the packaging they put it in probably is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't know if you know, they just got rid of, like, I think it was Red 4 or
Yes,
Red
thanks
3,
God. Yes.
Thank goodness.
Yes.
But they
Yes.
banned it in the cosmetics over a year or 20 years ago.
But it was still in our food.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. But yeah, y'all be
Right.
healthy out there.
Healthy.
Well, I think there's going to be a lot of changes. I hope they're for the better. I'm just hopeful
Mm-hmm.
without getting into politics.
Right.
I do want to ask you something, Leslie. I know you said before you do like a lot of self-improvement and reflecting. Now, is there if there's pressure that comes from that, how do you manage the pressure that might come from that, or is there any pressure at all?
Let me tell you, because I am a perfectionist, since I was a kid, and I think I shared this with you before. When I was in school, I had to, in my mind, I was like, if I don't get good grades or my uncles or whatever, education was a priority in my family. And I thought that, I have to get good grades. I always used to get good, grade certificates and all that. So I think I was programmed with that in mind. And that was a lot of pressure. But now as I'm getting older, it's actually not pressure. I actually enjoy learning. I try to do balance my life now more than ever, especially this year. And I'm trying to, once again, if doesn't bring growth into my life when it comes to good connections of people that are like me, that have the same goal, that have the same ethics, and it's not aligned with with who I am, I'm detaching myself from that. Right. All of us, we get invited to a lot of networking events. So what I'm trying to do, or trying to do my best, is in managing my time. And yes, I do get a lot of classes. And right now, as a matter of fact, Katrina and I were taking a class about neglect and abuse of, elderly people or people with disabilities. And I actually enjoyed the class because while it's very sad, because we learn about realistic scenarios, people that went through a lot of trauma, neglect, and abuse, it also helps us to identify who is going through that, and also identify who might be putting somebody through that, right? And I enjoy learning. So I and that's part of, enhancing myself, and I love to learn. I always like to read books for business or whatever. And now that thanks God, I got my doctorate and all the stuff, I don't have that pressure.
Congratulations.
So I am doing it more so out of enjoyment. So it's not pressure. It's
making
not
sure that you enjoy the process.
Yeah, because up to last year, I was putting pressure on myself to get that right, and I think I got that not only for me, more so for my mother, right? But now that I did it and I went through that, everything that I'm doing now is just out of enjoyment.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, that is beautiful. So for myself, we all know I like working out, and I like things that are very physical and active. But for myself, for my mental health, we all know I work very hard on my mental health, and it's a daily activity. But for me, my morning starts one way and my evening ends another way. And really, starts with hobbies and ends with hobbies for my mental health. So the day starts with, my normal routine with, a moment with God and things like that. But the very next thing I do is, what am I doing for my body? How am I getting my body moving today? Because if I can get my body moving, then my brain is going to follow. So whether it's going to the gym, or I like, aerial yoga, or Legray or Pilates, or maybe I just go for a run today. Whatever it is, my body has to get moving so I can release those endorphins. Another thing at the end of the day, though, which most people don't think about and talk about, is I can't work out at the end of the day personally because it gives me energy. So that's why I work out at the beginning of the day. Then at the end of the day, I'm doing things like reading or puzzles for my memory, things like that kind of slow me down.
Oh, interesting.
So it's a little bit different for me.
Nah, that's dope. Nah, I can relate to working out give me energy, even though I haven't done so in a while. But yeah, working out gives you energy. And if you do that at night.
For me, I can't. Yeah, I know plenty of people who get off work and go work out or go for a run, things like that. I personally can't do that. So I do it in the morning. Then at night, I kind of slow down, whether it's read the Bible or read a book or, play some memory games or something.
Okay. That's beautiful, though.
Yeah, very different. That definitely, that definitely releases the stress in the morning. And working out, you guys are talking about working out, but working out, what is the one thing that it does help you with? We don't always think about.
I think it helps you. Well, for me, it helps with relaxation because after you're done, then it's like your body's healing. You have endorphins, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to run, but the best part was after.
What about self-esteem?
It does a lot for your self-esteem, though. It would. I guess it would do so.
You look good.
Yeah,
You look
even
good.
if you're not happy with how you look, you're still leaving, with a little bit
Of accomplishment. Yeah.
Right, a little bit more of accomplishment, like, oh, I did that today. Or especially when we've all heard those people who talk about, oh, I don't feel like working out today, but I'm gonna go because when I leave that facility, I'm gonna feel better about it, right? Well, that's kind of how that works too.
Yeah, or at least be glad it's over.
Just be glad it's over.
Yeah.
And just be glad it's over. Is there any other hobbies that we can think of that you guys normally do that will affect your mental health in a positive aspect?
I would say cooking, but then I don't know if that's completely. I wouldn't say that's completely positive because if it don't come out the way I want, I'm upset. I'm mad.
Yeah. So for me, I like that you brought that up. For me, cooking is an anxiety reducer.
Oh.
Okay.
Reducer.
And let
Yeah,
me
it
know when
causes
you have
anxiety.
anxiety. I'll bring you groceries.
Reducer. Yes. Because it's, for me, when it comes, the act of cooking is almost an act of working out for me. Because I don't focus on anything but what I'm doing at hand. No one needs to speak to me. I don't need to engage in anything else but what I'm doing.
So it becomes like therapy.
So when you go to the gym,
Mhm.
you don't talk
Nope.
to anybody?
When I go to the gym, my headphones will go on, and if you try to talk to me, I'll look at you and walk away.
Oh, that's what it happened to me. That's why I don't like going to the gyms because it was more so a place to socialize, and that's why I like working at home.
Mhm.
Working out at home, seriously.
Right. It is
okay.
not a place to socialize for me.
But people go and they try to engage into, and I don't want to be rude, so I rather avoid it.
Oh, I haven't had that experience, but
I am
Yeah.
that person.
maybe I'm intimidating.
You are. I am that person that will drive all the way to the gym, look down in my seat, and go, "Oh my God, I forgot my headphones. I'm going home,"
Oh wow!
and I will not work out. But it's the same idea with cooking. I'm in the kitchen for that hour or whatever it is. I'll turn on some music, focus on what I'm doing. Dog sits at the end of the kitchen, waiting for food to drop, and nothing else matters.
And he knows not to come into the kitchen, right?
He does.
Oh, okay.
He sits with his little paws on the outside of the kitchen. But yeah, so for me, that reduces stress, reduces anxiety.
Meditation is nice too.
Yeah, I actually used to meditate a while ago, and I think it is aside from taking pictures, which is kind of like meditation in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
But no, meditation was really big. The only thing and you never realize how noisy quiet is until you start to meditate.
Right.
It is really noisy, especially in an apartment building. So I guess I could say I gave up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you're gonna become familiar with all the sounds: refrigerator on, dishwasher,
Mm-hmm.
Neighbor coming home. What's that? That's a new sound. Oh,
What's that? That's a new sound.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought up meditation because that's probably the number one thing that everyone talks about thinks about when they think of, oh, what can reduce my anxiety or what can reduce my stress? What can reduce my, oh, why don't you go meditate? Well, where do I start?
Simple.
Very important question.
Very simple.
Where do I start? And what are some of the struggles I'm going to come across?
World Wide Web.
Right?
The hardest thing is trying to think about nothing.
The hardest thing is trying to think about nothing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And with meditation, you've got that physical discomfort too that comes. Not everyone can just sit down. Sit down.
But you don't have to sit down to meditate. You can actually
Stop.
walk.
Yeah. You could. Yeah.
You can actually walk in nature, like during the pandemic, especially, what I was
Mhm.
doing is just like start walking, closing my eyes a little bit and opening, and just like you say, having
Mhm.
your headphones, listening to meditation music, and maybe I was even praying while I was
Yeah.
meditating, and it because I felt, like I said, I don't want people to feel that I respect everybody's religion, but I felt that I detached from God for a while, and I was trying to find a way to reconnect with Him. So that was helping me big time.
That's good. I'm glad that you brought that up because expectations. We're talking about meditation, and there's always a huge expectation on making sure I get this right. Correct? Um, don't try too hard. That's why I like that you said you can walk. Open my eyes, close my eyes.
Whatever works for you, right?
Right. Because
And then if we get rid of what is expected, what do you expect to get from it? So switch the perspective.
mm-hmm.
So instead of thinking, oh, I should be getting or writing it down and thinking I expect to get this,
Mm-hmm.
right? What do you think of the things that, yes, you can get from it, but once again, don't just be open minded
Mm-hmm.
to whatever, and it's a process, it's one step at a time.
Would it be like correct to say if you're asking yourself if you're doing it right, you're thinking too much?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
that would make sense.
Or if you expect it to, okay, I'm gonna meditate today and this is what I'm gonna get accomplished. It might not happen that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's no.
It might
real
not happen that way because things, like they say, right? Things don't happen to me. Things happen for me,
For me. Right.
right? So even though sometimes our expectations are like this, but sometimes maybe that is not really going to work out for you.
Mm-hmm. And having those expectations and trying to control your mind can make it so much more difficult.
So emotional diversity.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to have your mind flexible.
I like that. Have your mind flexible. That's
Open,
interesting.
or just open-minded,
Yeah,
Take it
just-
one thing at a time. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Mm-hmm. There are a couple things. I meditate every day, at least once a day. There are a couple things that someone taught me or told me a long time ago that stuck with me. When you meditate, don't be hungry.
Oh yeah.
Make sure you are not hungry. Make sure that you are not overstimulated. And what was the other one? She said, make sure you're not hungry. Oh, and make sure you're not too tired.
So if you want to meditate, what I will suggest the audience and everybody do is take some green tea, chamomile tea, things that are going to calm your mind and relax you. So you know what works for you. Or maybe use water with a little bit of lime. Simple things that can actually help you, be at ease.
Yeah, those are all good too.
If you're trying to meditate, you take a Coke. Or you drink a Coke.
Oh, yeah,
That's not gonna help you.
That's
But
all
you
sugar
know,
and
but you
caffeine.
never know. People
That's true.
might do that. So just do your research. What might work better, and then learn what works with your body, because not everybody's body is the same. What worked for you, Katrine, and what you eat. Like some people, avocado is great and it's a good fat, but it might not be suitable for somebody. You'll feel too heavy, or you'll feel light, or learn what your body is telling you.
Right. Always definitely listen to your body and be mindful. And just meet your body where it's at today.
Pay attention.
And your mind. And it's okay if it's okay if you sit down today and you say, okay, I'm meditating for 10 minutes. That's your expectation. And you get 30 seconds in and realize, you know what? Right now it's just not the time.
Not yourself.
And that's okay. Well, this was a great episode. Do you guys have any other recommendations?
No, it's just that everything that we provide and share here is based on our own experiences.
Yeah.
We always advise you to seek, clinical and medical support. If you have any particular questions or concern, always ask it. You can ask your nutritionist. A lot of people don't know this, but insurance can cover that. So if you have insurance, find out how can you get, support from a nutritionist or
Yeah.
ask your doctor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, definitely gonna check that and see if we got that.
Yeah, because and that's another thing is insurance. We don't know all that insurance covers because we only know what we're taught. So do the research.
And also, when people go to the primary care physician, before we finish, I know we're tight with time right now. There's a bunch of tests that can be done. Ask your doctors because they're gonna do what the routine, what they do every day with everybody, and not everybody should be utilize the cookie cutter approach. Everybody's different.
Right. 100%.
Agreed.
100%. Okay. So I definitely want to encourage the listeners to try some new hobbies. If you have any recommendations on something that you like doing or just want to have a conversation, I encourage you to email us or give us a call.
You can always visit our website at www.forthebetterdayfoundation.org. Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. And until next time.
Good night.
Good night.